Good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to the Superwoman Entrepreneur Global Mastermind. And today we're talking about your marketing ecosystem and what that entails and how that actually works. So, my name is Daphne Thompson, and I am the founder at Catch the Beat. Today we're chatting to Suzanne Scarrow. Suzanne, would you mind introducing yourself and just telling us a little bit about you?
Sure. So I'm Suzanne from Cairns in Far North Queensland. And what I love to do is help people break through the barriers of limiting beliefs and old hurts and pains. Perhaps there's been a failure in business or something like that in the past. And often people become scared to try again. But when you clear the emotional damage that has happened, you can actually break through those barriers. And it just lights me up when that happens. I can see that in clients, and it makes my day worthwhile when that happens. So that's what I love to do.
Awesome. So let's chat about the marketing ecosystem and what that entails. Now, any marketing system, when any entrepreneur starts with their business, they need to start out with some sort of ecosystem. And what a lot of people think is if they just do Facebook or they just do Facebook ads and they just do, for example, how can I put it? Only Instagram or only LinkedIn or only Google or only one of these incidents or only email marketing. They miss out on how all of that actually fits into one another. So yes, there is a lot of people that have had massive success with, for example, only using Facebook or only using one of these platforms. And yeah, it is very possible. However, Facebook broke down a little while ago. What did
That's
your
right.
marketing do? What
Yeah.
then? So, what is the ecosystem that you're building that fits into one another in order to do that? How we start this out is let's all first think of the journey that you take your customers on. Think about it as if it is a normal human relationship. When you do a normal human relationship, you first see each other, right?
Yeah.
So there's a situation where you go eye to body, eye to eye, hand to shoulder, hand to back. And that's kind of how a relationship usually forms, right? There's certain
Yeah.
steps that people do in order to form any kind of normal human relationship.
Sure.
When you go through this, if you skip steps, that's usually when a relationship breaks down a little bit. For
Yeah.
example, Nan, if I just walk up to you right now and I scratch your head, you're going to freak out
Yes. Not
because
good.
we don't have
Don't
that
do that.
no, we don't have that relationship. So, but
Yeah.
for example, if I grew up in your house and
Yeah.
I lived with you, or we had that type of close relationship, I could probably like scratch your head or just go lie on your tummy or whatever the thing might be,
Yeah.
because there
Absolutely.
is that intimate relationship.
Yeah.
Now, what
Yeah.
happens a lot is people take this and they put it online and they go, boom, slam, bam, thank you, ma'am. They just go
Mm.
online and they're like, well, I can do this and I can do that. And they miss the steps of what you need to
Yeah.
take to get to a relationship. The normal
Yeah.
steps is usually, like we said, it's eye to eye, hand to hand. And then as the relationship goes, you usually exchange numbers. You usually have then that relationship where you go see each other. If that went well, then you'll go on another event together or dinner or whatever the relationship is.
Yeah.
And that's how you grow intimacy or a relationship.
Sure.
After that, it kind of grows into, for example, if you take a romantic relationship, it would go into a committed relationship. Then the
Yeah.
next step would be to get engaged. Next step would be marriage.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of as that relationship grows, you post about it. People do that.
Yeah.
They say, oh, I've met this awesome guy. It was amazing like this. Or they go, look at what he's done. He's given me these flowers or gifts or whatever the
Yeah.
thing is. And I'm taking a very long path to explain to you that that is exactly how your ecosystem online works.
Yeah.
Is that when you do this, first of all, people need to see you online. So,
Yeah.
what is how do they see you? Is it on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, email, blogging, Pinterest? Where do they see you? Then
Yeah.
the content that you give, how do they engage with you? Now that's the part where you start texting each other. How do they engage
Yeah.
us?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
next step after engagement is then subscribe. Like, kind of like, all right, you have my number now. I give you permission to that. I'll give you my email address. Majority of time, there's a value exchange when that happens. So in a online world, this is kind of where funneling starts.
Yeah.
So Suzanne, for you, it would probably something be like a value add workshop that you give, or one of your extremely valuable breakthrough techniques that you give someone in an ebook. Or in our system, in the Superwomen Entrepreneurs, we have our very own global breakthrough and transformation guide that is ready, that we'll also be posting about, that you guys can get. So that's a value in exchange, right?
Yeah.
Now people want to get excited about you. When they're excited about you, you are able to now give them your core offering, whatever that might be, in order for them to upsell. Now your ecosystem takes each and every steps of this, and they put a platform to it, or a messaging.
Okay.
Or how do all of this link together? So for example, when we go, they just see each other. You just see someone on Facebook. Let's take Facebook as a platform. Okay, how do you see each other? What is that content that you are giving them in order to start talking to you, comment, like, share, all of these type of things?
Yeah.
Because if they get to communicate with you in that manner, you can get them to one of your funnels in order to get either their cell phone number or their email address in order to set up a one-on-one.
Yeah.
If it is an e-commerce store, that's the part where you drive them to your store. If it's a services based, usually you want a conversation with someone.
Yeah.
After they had that conversation with you, what is your follow-up? 60% of all sales are made within the 12th follow-up first. So 12 follow-up, the 12th touch point.
Wow.
So what is your touch points that you have? And it could be on email, it could be text, it could be another Facebook message, it could be a phone call. But what is that system that you're putting in place in order for people to actually follow up with you, or that you follow up with them? Have you seen, does this make sense? So the ecosystem goes, where's all your traffic sources? So think about it as if it's a T, your traffic sources. It could be search engine optimization, which in my opinion is the best thing ever. It is also the most expensive, and it takes the longest to convert, but it is the most sustainable.
Okay.
Search engine optimization. The next thing, could it be your Facebook, media spend, Instagram, blogging? Do you have email campaigns? Are you writing articles? Are you publishing somewhere? Are you doing live events like these? Are you on Clubhouse? Are you on doing webinars? What is your traffic sources that people start to get to know who you are and your services?
Yeah. Yeah.
Step would then be usually to get them through your lead magnet. What is that thing that makes someone hook, to turn a glance into a stare?
Yeah. Yeah.
Comes in where Tracy is really good at. Tracy speaks about your branding, and that's kind of a lot where she focuses on as well. So to get that messaging right, to turn a glance into a stare, so that someone can go, all right, I actually want to know more about this. That's your lead.
Absolutely.
When you get your lead magnet, now you need to get what we call a tripwire. What is going to make that person go, hey, okay, I'll give you my email, or I'll give you my contact number in order for us to have a conversation, or I'll buy one of your small purchases. What is that offer? So let's recap. What if you start off when you build an ecosystem with your traffic sources on top? Where am I finding all of my traffic from? We're taking it into a lead magnet. What is that one thing that is basically your hook to get people to come to you? Your tripwire. What is that one thing, that very one first small yes that we can get from someone in order to go, all right, I'll give you a small purchase. I will set up a call with you. What's that value that we give them? Because after that, then you go into your core offering and you take them through the value journey, which includes your follow-up systems.
Okay. Yeah.
So your follow-up is usually based on email, it is based on text, it's based on in-person, it is based on social media. That's all the different aspects of where your follow-up comes in.
Yeah.
So a lot of times people ask, well, I only want to invest in the platform that gives me the most return. That sounds logical, right?
Sounds logical.
Does. Okay. Well, where?
Yeah.
Did you see me on Facebook? Did you see me on Google? Did you do research about this product? Yeah, you
Yeah.
did probably. Um, okay. Did you see me in some articles? Where else did you see me? So it's very, very difficult to actually pinpoint where someone saw that exact thing, unless you only have one
One.
platform. But then you
Mm.
miss out on a whole bunch of other traffic.
Yeah, exactly. That's it.
So it's
So
very
you're fishing in that really small ocean, aren't you, rather than the
exactly.
full?
The bigger
Yeah.
you cast your net in the different traffic sources, that's
Mm.
where you get majority of the thing. But it does count a lot, so that you a funnel like that where all your traffic sources is to bring it in to one
Yeah.
landing page or one specific messaging or one website, one squeeze page, one thing, so that you can actually funnel it. It's
Yeah.
like inviting all your friends, but they're all going to different locations. So where's the party?
Yeah. That's right. Yep.
You have to give them one address where everyone can meet up, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
that's where you build your ecosystem from.
Mm.
It is so. Let's recap to get your traffic sources from
Yep.
wherever that might be. The next step is you go into what is your lead magnet, what is your tripwire, what is your follow up that happened, and everything that you've created in this can be used again as repurposing content to feed the funnel again in the
Yes.
form of emails, blogs, social media content,
Yeah.
video content, short vertical form content, these type of things. So whatever you do, it's never for waste. It is always to be repurposed in another form or way as well.
Yeah, it's something I'm thinking about a lot at the moment, because I have spent a lot of time building funnels.
Mm-hmm.
So funnels into like $27 products, basically.
Yeah.
So that's the top, and then there's a 37, and then the main product. The
So what
what did you
you're
call it
doing
before?
is you
The sorry, go on.
so what you're doing is you're building amazing funnels with a entry level that's
Yeah,
basically a no-brainer for someone to say
yeah,
yes to, that they
yeah,
can already see value to you that makes them want to invest more to you.
yeah,
Majority of sales is a series of yeses, and what you're creating is a yes with a commitment.
yeah. I hadn't realised though the 12 touch points that you mentioned. But when I think about how it's been working, that makes perfect sense. There are people who, for example, have just bought a product that is a higher dollar amount,
Yeah,
but they are people that I've met along the way, and they probably have had those 12 touch points along the way. Yeah.
exactly.
Interesting. Very interesting. Yeah. Yeah, so that whole idea of how good it would be if you just put yourself just on Facebook and went, oh gosh, all these people are just going to buy, just doesn't work. Doesn't
No,
work.
it doesn't. Unless you already have a very committed organic following,
Following,
completely.
yeah, exactly. But even then, like when I see people with those very large organic followings, they are pumping out information into all sorts of areas too, not just one platform. So
Exactly.
yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay. Overwhelm a little, makes sense a lot.
But that's kind of it, where people get into this thing. I always try and advise clients not to focus on one single aspect, because a lot of times they come and like, oh no, I want to do social media. I just want to
Yep.
focus on Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, that is a great platform, but what are you selling?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
what you're selling and what you're communicating needs to be in accordance with the audience and where your audience is. So have you thought about where your audience is? Would LinkedIn be maybe good as well? Would I am a very strong believer in search engine optimization. I would always invest first in search
In
before
that.
anything
Yeah.
else. Just majority of
Okay.
the time, no matter what people actually buy, the buying decision gets made online first. And if you're not
Mm.
around when people make that buying decision, then it's usually an issue. They search majority of the time first on Google, whatever it is
Yeah.
that price matching. Um, where else can they find it if it can be shipped quicker? What other value does different products have?
Yeah.
And only when they do that, that's when they actually go to your site or to your Facebook page or to whichever part it is that you are actually active on. But
Yeah.
majority of the time, like let's say, I think it's about 87% actually does their search and research before, or buying decisions gets made before someone actually purchases. Um, Impulsive decision, yes, of course, that does happen. But majority
Yeah.
of the time, it's someone that has seen something and then seen it again, seen it again. So
Yeah.
it's repetition. It's again that touch point, it's repetition.
Absolutely.
And then they go, all right, let me just buy this. So
Yeah.
those impulsive and research buyers. Higher ticket items, they have research. Definitely they've researched, and it's
Definitely.
usually Google.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Suzanne, if someone wants to invest in you as a breakthrough, is coach the right word?
Yeah, coach. Yeah. Transformational coach is what I say. Yeah.
No. So if
Yeah.
someone wants to invest in you, they kind of need to have a lot of trust in you, right?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when they have a lot of trust in you, they probably had to research you and had to get to know you. So they are following you on Instagram, on Facebook, on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. They have read your site. Whenever you publish an article, they will read it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's really interesting because when you said 87%, the SEO is usually that 87%. That's huge. That is really a big figure. If like when you talk about SEO, are you just talking about on your website or are you talking about more than that?
So search engine optimization. Think about the way that I always just explain it to people that don't understand because SEO is technical.
Mm.
SEO,
Yeah.
think about it again as a relationship. But
Yeah.
Google is this phenomenal Kim Kardashian, Heidi Klum type of model. And your website is this, um, let's say, like geeky nerd guy that's very introverted, that doesn't actually speak out, that likes it and then wants to have a relationship. But how do you
Sure.
get a relationship?
Yeah.
Firstly, when any guy meets any girl he had in a long-term relationship, but that's not in it for slam bam, thank you, ma'am. You usually have to do certain things, and it's
Yeah.
part of like whispering sweet nothings in our ears. It is investing in us, pay money in us, be consistent, answer the
Yeah.
phone when we call, respond to your messages. All
Yeah.
these different things, and it usually has to happen over a
Mm.
longer period of time, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the same thing with Google. Google looks at your website. And yes, they do look at it. It sends little robots out and go checks it out, what happens. It looks at quite a few different technical aspects like meta tags and normal tags and all these different technical aspects. I am not
Mm.
an SEO boffin, so I'm not going to try and be, but I do understand.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
what this then happens is sometimes they look at it as if there's new content on there. So first, do you speak Google's language? Is it
Mm.
when people search for something and they land on your site, is it exactly what they are looking for?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it does have keyword orientated and keyword phrases. That does
Yeah.
play a big part. But that's all on site optimization. So that's basically having a phenomenal store and you rearrange it every now and then. So when people come, it looks new. You've got new products that come in. You don't go to a store every single day with exactly the same stuff. You come in every time there's a change, right?
Yeah.
Seasonal or when there's a special or something like
Mm.
that. The reason when you go. Same with
Yeah.
Google.
Yeah.
But now also think about this. Imagine your store is in this, it is an amazing, phenomenal, brilliant, awesome store. In the forest where no one knows about it, there is no signal and there's no roads. How would
Mm.
you find it?
It's what it feels like sometimes.
So what SEO also is they're called link building. So what we're basically doing is we're building roads so that other people
Mm.
can find your store.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what SEO is. So it's basically on-site optimization, which is make your store pretty or make your
Yeah.
website Google friendly, and then building roads to your website so that people can find it.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
that all has got to do with your different keywords as well.
Okay. Okay. I can
That's
see we're going to have a conversation, you and I personally, to get me on track here, on that
I
track.
would love that anytime, Suzanne. I would love to help you
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
specifically in Australia and wherever
Yeah.
it is that you want to rank. Because now remember, if you want to rank in a different country, different roads need to be built.
Ah,
It's
good
like
point.
opening up a store when, like, I have this amazing store in Canada, but I want to do the same thing in the States, and I want to do it in Australia, and I want to do it in Japan, and I want to do it in the UK. That means I have to open up different branches, right?
Mm,
So
mm,
basically, there's different techniques, but that's how you can think about it. In order to reach those audiences, you need to build roads to those stores.
interesting. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because you really need people to come into that forest and find the store. Hmm.
Exactly. And you have to make it easy. If you make it
Yeah.
tricky, you leave people along the road. Confused buyers never
Yep.
buy.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and that even works with the road that you park for them in order to get to your store.
Mm, mm, interesting. Wow. Lots to think about. I think we need to set up an appointment.
I would love that any time, any day.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is what basically it means to have your ecosystem built. It does take
Yeah.
continuous work. It's not something that
Okay.
you set up and you leave. Search
No,
engine optimization is also not something that you set up and you leave. It
no,
is always go back to marketing as if it's a relationship. The minute you stop working on any relationship, it dies, right?
it dies. Yeah, absolutely right.
And we
Yeah,
have to keep that from happening. So it is
yeah.
a continuous thing. You have to continuous. Social media is usually more daily than anything else.
Mm, mm. Yeah, I'm trying to do the social media daily, but it takes a bit of organisation and a bit of commitment, doesn't it, to do that? But once you get into the swing of it too, it's a lot easier. Once you've got a plan, a bit of a structure to follow, it's a lot easier than thinking, oh gosh, I haven't posted on social today.
Yeah. No, it
So
is. It does take time, it does take money, and it does take effort. Like
yeah,
everything else. The key to any entrepreneur when they do make those decisions is to
yeah,
evaluate how much time, how much money, how much effort, and then how does that combine to get my return on investment?
yeah, yeah,
Does it help me
absolutely.
to get to my goal quicker? Does it help me to get to my goal more efficiently? Does it help to get
Mm,
to my goal a little bit more cost effectively?
yeah,
What are the reasons of when you invest in certain platforms and traffic sources? What will be the best for your specific business? And it's not necessarily the same for every single business.
no, no, it would not. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Thank you for all that information. I'll definitely be in touch for an appointment because this is something like as a practitioner, I've no clue about marketing. And so I need that guidance. So yeah, absolutely. You know
We
where your
actually
strengths are and you know where your strengths aren't. And I know mine isn't in marketing.
Exactly, exactly. That's why I got you to speak to my team about breaking through limiting beliefs. That was phenomenal. That is leveraging on your strength as well. And that's exactly what I love about this community that we're in,
Yeah,
is that we are
yeah.
able to leverage on each other's strengths and
That's
leverage
it.
on each other's talents as well. You've got a gifting that
Yeah,
no one else can do the way that you can do.
yeah, yeah. I finally understand that now. Only took me half a century.
Exactly, but there is never and there will never be another Suzanne Scarrow.
Yeah, yeah.
And
No,
you
that's
you have a niche and a service, a specific market that no one else can serve the way that you
mm,
do. And I
yeah,
think that's the part where a lot of our entrepreneurs need to start understanding that
yep,
yes, there might be a lot of different people that does the same thing, because that's true, but there is a specific niche and a specific market that only you can serve with your
yeah,
experience, with your history, with your talent, and the way that you do things.
yeah. No, I agree. Absolutely. Yeah. Alrighty, I will be in touch to set up a time for that.
That is brilliant.
I need your help.
Awesome. So guys, I think, Suzanne, do you have anything else to add to our topic today?
No, gosh, I'm just grateful to get that information because it's been something that's been, sort of behind a bit of a veil for me, and I'm sure it is for so many entrepreneurs. We all do what we do because we love it, but we don't know all the pieces that we need to get it out there, out of the forest. We need help. We need specific help to get it out of that darkness and into the light a bit. So yeah,
I understand.
absolutely.
So, everyone, please do feel free to join our community. It is Superwoman Entrepreneurs. We are live every Tuesday, or let me not say time, same time, same place. It is GMT 9 o'clock on a Tuesday every single week. Please do join our community. Our Facebook page, Superwoman Entrepreneurs. We have launched our mastermind, so please do join that. We were going to have a lot more sessions about that specifically to get you involved and to get you part of this. And I look forward to seeing you next week. My name is Daphne Thompson. Thank you for being part of this. Suzanne?
Thanks, Daphne. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.